nope, not clickbait. I've mentioned it, I've brought it up, I've talked about it on this channel a lot in the last 3 years, but after 18 years in New York City, I'm leaving. Now there's a lot to unpack here. A lot to unpack with what does it mean for me personally, what's it mean for 368, what does it mean for everything, and I'm gonna get into all of that. But in this video, See, I'm a big subscriber of the idea that life, like a book, life is told in chapters. And you can't embrace the next chapter until you close the current one. This is a total coincidence that this scene happens to be happening in The Godfather right now. This is when Don Corleone dies and Mike Corleone becomes the new Godfather. In any event, life is like a book. You cannot embrace what's next until you change the page. And the chapter I'm closing here is New York City. Now, if I'm looking at life from like the broadest of chapters, chapter 1 was like childhood through moving to New York. That was like ages 0 to 20. And then ages 20 to 40, I'm not 40, but you get the idea. I was in New York City. And that's the chapter that I'm currently closing. And when I think about all the things that I'm gonna miss, there's like one thing that really hangs, which is this studio. Let me tell you a little, like an abbreviated history of this studio, and if I've already shared this with you, forgive me, but this is 15 years ago. I had a day job, and it was a good job, and I got my first ever paid gig with the video camera. It was to direct a TV commercial. It was like several $1,000s. I spent those several $1,000s getting this studio space, and I quit my day job. Filmmaking, making videos, it wasn't a hobby for me anymore. It went from being a hobby to being a career. This space represents that. We're moving in July, so 10 weeks from right now we're moving. And we're giving up our apartment here, the apartment that I've like raised my family in for the last several years. But because of 368 and other factors, I'm keeping like a tiny place here. We're keeping a place here. So Candace has a place to stay when she comes back, and I have a place to stay when I come back. Okay, so with that, I was like, what do I do with the studio? Because it's expensive, it's a lot to justify. If I'm not living in New York City, do I need all of this? And the answer is, of course, no. Technically, as far as my landlord's concerned, these are actually two separate spaces right here. This is one space, and this is the other space. Here, look. That space is 201, and then like this is 202. This is one space here. This is technically considered a second space. I don't want to like romanticize this too much, but see this wall right here? This one that's all kind of busted up? I left it like that because knocking down that wall and expanding from this small space into that big space was such a huge deal for me. That happened in like 2007, just as I had sold my HBO show to HBO. We had money, so my brother Van and I, this woman left this space and we took over. I'm gonna, at least for now, I'm gonna keep this studio space here, this small space. This is 14 feet by 14 feet. I'm gonna put this wall right here. I'm gonna put this wall back up, and then this entire space is no longer gonna be mine. As I leave, I'm contracting back to this original space where my whole career started. So when I do come back to New York, I have this little place to work. And that leaves this big space. This whole space is gonna be left behind. This is what I'm giving up. Sam, I'm explaining that you're adopting half of my studio. It feels a little like passing the baton. Like that was the space that I built my career, and now
I just sprint with my entire existence.
So it's leaving me, but it's not leaving the family, and that makes me feel good. Candace's parents are both in Los Angeles. Candace's sister is in Los Angeles. Her brother-in-law is in Los Angeles. My sister's in LA. My big brother's in LA. My little brother's in LA. All within 10 miles of each other, all right in the same spot. And I think when you get older, like, your priorities are no longer about you, they become about your kids. And I don't want to raise my kids without family. And when you can stop and appreciate what you have, which is something I'm working harder to do instead of just bulldozing ahead, you can really see your priorities. And my priorities right now are giving my kids a life that includes family. And I can't do that in New York City. This video was sponsored by NordVPN. True story, I've personally been using NordVPN for the last couple of years, and I was excited when they approached me for this sponsorship because I use their product. If you don't know what a VPN is, this is what it looks like when you don't use a VPN. This is you, your computer, and you're sending your unique information, your data, across the internet, and anybody who wanted to see this data could see that data. With a VPN, it looks like this. This is you here. Your data is first being encrypted via an app that you put on your smartphone or you put on your computer. Then it's going to the VPN servers, the NordVPN servers. Then it's going out to the internet. So the sites that you're visiting can only see the VPN server, not you. Nord's offering for a limited time 75% off a 3-year plan at nordvpn.com/Casey. Internet security is something to be taken very seriously. A VPN can really help with your own security, and Nord has a fantastic reputation. nordvpn.com/Casey for that discount. nordvpn.com/Casey. Okay, thanks Nord for sponsoring this video. So, this is where we're moving. Well, not right here, this is the beach, but Los Angeles, California. This is where we're moving, and our move date is currently scheduled for 9 weeks from today. Hope this also sheds a little bit of light on why I haven't been uploading or really doing anything. Moving your family 3,000 miles has been an enormous undertaking. I mean, between finding school and finding a new house and then figuring out how to get your stuff out here, it's been a lot. And while it is an enormous undertaking, I'm excited. I'm super excited. As much as I fear or don't want to close the chapter on my life that's been New York City, 'cause it's been amazing opening this next chapter here. Yeah, I'm really excited about it. Even though I'm gonna miss my studio. It's a little sad. It's a little emotional. It's a lot.